What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we need to talk about a stock that I've become interested in over the past couple of weeks that I ended up buying into that's becoming pretty profitable and is looking like it has a good chance of being a successful trade in the future. So, we're going to start talking about this stock. Ticker symbol SDC, Smiledirectclub. If you watch the live streams, you already know what I'm talking about. So, it is up again today, right? It's up about 7.5%. We're making new highs on this uptrend at $2.81, and I'm going to try to explain why I'm pretty bullish on it, why I think they have a good chance of moving up fairly significantly over the next couple of weeks and potentially months as well if they can hit some of their financial goals. So we're going to start off just taking a look at their chart first of all to exemplify just how far they've fallen. So first thing to note right off the bat, they have fallen dramatically over the past year. In fact, if you look back at the past 365 days from where they were then to where they are now, they are down about 81%, and at their lows, they were down almost 90%. So it's pretty dramatic stuff that's happened to them. There's obviously a lot of stocks that have been down lately, but you can see that more recently they are starting to form the beginning of an uptrend. And if that continues, it could be a very good thing for them because I think that a lot of these smaller market cap stocks, SDC included, have been pushed down probably a little bit too far, and we could actually see them come back in a big way. Now, one of the reasons why I think they will likely be doing good in the future is because they announced recently, just a couple of days ago, some strategic actions that they're going to take to increase their profitability. And this is something that's really important to investors when there's more fear in the markets, right? Because investors, when they're worried about recession or rising interest rates, they don't want to see companies that live off of debt, right? They don't like it when companies are unprofitable and have no way to sustain themselves other than taking out debt. And if Smiledirectclub is able to become a profitable company, then that will no longer be the case, right? They'd be able to sustain themselves in other ways. They would be bringing in profit and actually able to return some value to the investors in that company, either through buybacks or dividends, or what's more likely is they would probably continue putting their profits into the company, trying to grow and appreciate their stock price over time, right? Because that's typically the most effective way that companies can return value when they're small fledgling companies, right? So we're looking at these strategic actions, and basically they include right-sizing their cost structure, so essentially just cutting out some of the junk in their costs that isn't actually making them any profit, right? They want to get rid of unprofitable activities and investments and focus on what they're doing that's actually profitable now. And they also want to reallocate capital to countries with the greatest potential for near-term profitability. Another thing that some people might be happy to see, if they're worried about the United States entering a recession, they would be happy to see probably that this stock in particular is reallocating capital to countries where they have a chance of becoming profitable sooner rather than later, right? So we're looking at potentially a really good situation for them over the next couple of weeks, months, and years if they end up really following through with these strategic actions and doing well with them. Now, we've also got a potential catalyst coming up on February 28th, their earnings call, right? That's coming up pretty soon, and we can pull it up right here. Basically, this is happening February 28th, and I think that most investors aren't actually expecting them to be profitable yet, right? Because they just announced these strategic actions about a week ago, and it would be odd for them to announce strategic actions to attain profitability and then to actually already be profitable about a month later. It seems a little bit unlikely to me that they're going to be able to do that. So I don't think anyone is really expecting that they'll be profitable this quarter. And so if this quarter's earnings are negative, right, if they're a loss like they have been for the past while, in fact, if you look back the past couple of years, they've all been negative, right? They've lost money every quarter as they are a growing company, right, a growth stock. If they do end up losing money, I don't think that they're actually going to take that hard of a hit, right? I think as long as we see them moving in the right direction, as long as we don't see bigger losses than usual, then we should not be hurt very much by this most recent or this most upcoming earnings call, right? So I'm not too worried about that. Now, before I go on and talk about some of the other things that have been going on with SDC, I did want to point out the channel analytics. We currently have about 10,000 subscribers, and it would be much appreciated if anyone wants to go down and hit the subscribe button, join the family, and potentially get more Smiledirectclub stock news. Whenever there's something to report, I will probably be covering it, as this is one of my holdings. So if you guys want, feel free to subscribe to the channel because that would be very much appreciated. Now, back to what we were talking about with SDC. So SDC, over the long term, you can see, has been doing pretty poorly. And once again, looking at the past year, it's down quite a bit. And this is a tale not just about SDC stock, but about most stocks, actually. And this article was written a bit ago. A lot of stocks have fallen a lot further than when this article was written. about halfway through this month, right? Stocks have not been doing very well over the past 2 weeks. So it's probably closer to more than one half of NASDAQ stocks now that have slumped 50% or more from their all-time highs. And you can see quite a few have fallen a lot further than 50%, right? SDC was down about, currently is down about 80% from where they were over the past 52 weeks. So a lot of stocks in the market are feeling a lot of pain. And this is actually exemplified by Cathie Wood's ARK Invest, right? If you look at ARK Invest, it's typically more growth-heavy companies. And this, from the highs that we were at in February of last year to where we are now, is down 52%. So a lot of these growth stocks have been getting beaten down pretty harshly over the past year. And I think it's about time that some of these come back, because these growth stocks, I mean, they're not bad companies, right? They're just companies that got hit in the stock market while people were worried about inflation and rate hikes. And these are stocks like, Tesla is obviously one of the larger market cap stocks. It's actually been doing pretty well lately. But Teladoc, Zoom, Roku, Coinbase, Unity, Spotify, Twilio, Block, formerly known as Square, right? Shopify. A lot of these companies are actually pretty good companies. CRISPR, another one. A lot of these are pretty good companies, and I think Smiledirectclub is just following the overall trend of these growth stocks just getting decimated, right? I don't think that the pricing that we've seen in the markets as of late actually reflects reality too strongly. I think that a lot of these growth stocks have just been the targets of very scared people who are selling, and also very potentially manipulative people, right, who are shorting, trying to push these stocks down. We can take a peek at Smiledirectclub's short interest also. It's fairly high. And I think that these stocks are due for a big rebound, right? Because in the end, the fundamentals will come through and show that these companies are growing. They can either attain profitability or they can't. Hopefully, SDC will be able to, but in the meantime, it is actually on the rise. I think that we've started to get to an inflection point where people have realized that these growth stocks have been priced a little bit too cheaply. Now, we'll see if that's actually the case, but I did want to point out that today, actually, you can see that trend coming true, right? The large market cap stocks, Tesla, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, they're actually red, while some of the smaller market cap stocks, and these are still pretty big market caps, don't get me wrong, are actually green, right? You can see in the bottom right all of these smaller green dots compared to slightly more red, larger market cap area right up here. So it is potentially an inflection point that we're reaching where these smaller market cap stocks like SDC are going to start outperforming the large market cap stocks, and that certainly has not been the case. If you look at the QQQ, it's been performing pretty well, but has actually taken a big hit. And the Russells has not been performing as well and has taken a much larger hit. But once again, today, the Russells is actually up 0.5%, where the QQQ is in the red by 0.1%. So potentially, we're seeing a bit of an inflection, and maybe these smaller market cap stocks will start outperforming the large market cap stocks. So that's something I'm hoping for. And the last thing about Smiledirectclub that I wanted to point out was the Google Trends data. So if you look over the past 12 months, we have one big spike up in Smiledirectclub stock searches, and that was around September. And so in September, Smiledirectclub was actually getting pumped somewhat, right? It was actually getting pumped a little bit from about $4 to almost $8. So it got close to doubling, but didn't quite. And this was actually during the short squeeze hype. So a lot of people were talking about a potential short squeeze on Smiledirectclub because there were a lot of shorts in it. And since then, it's obviously fallen. That short squeeze did not happen. There was not enough momentum in this stock to keep it moving up. But we are, once again, actually starting to see a bit of a rise in the Google Trends data. You can actually see that more recently. We've been getting more interest the past week than we have in previous weeks over the past 90 days. And potentially, this is going to continue, right? Hopefully, we will start to see more people talking about Smiledirectclub as it continues moving up, right? It's up 7.5% today. So if that's not reason to be somewhat excited about the stock, I don't know what is, right? So other than that, guys, obviously keep in mind that this is not financial advice. I'm not recommending that anyone buy or sell any shares of stock. I'm just letting you guys know my opinion on Smiledirectclub and letting you guys know what I think of it, as well as some of the news that they've got going for them. So other than that, guys, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below, join the Smiledirectclub family, and have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.